200 years ago, we didn't really need a daily detoxification
Yeah.
process. But because we're so inundated with so many toxins in the world and
Yeah.
pollution and all of that, now it is important for us to take these small little steps to help our body's natural processes. So our
Yeah.
body wants to heal and it wants to detox.
Mhm.
But when you have this kind of overload that you're getting on a daily basis, being able to do that for your body is a great little kind of kickstart to your day.
Oh my goodness, Jessica, welcome back to the Stop Faking Fine podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. So great to connect.
I am so excited. You and I have connected over lowering cortisol, lowering inflammation, tips, tools, and strategies for the woman that is running with her hair on fire. And God bless, we love this woman. We are this woman and we are juggling so many things. So let's take an opportunity to sit down and just share easy tools and strategies, especially at the holidays, that will allow us to show up for ourselves without having to say self-care takes 5 hours and, hours of silence and a retreat or whatnot. But what things can we add to our everyday habits that allow us to show up as her? So, first and foremost, like higher dose. Let's unpack what higher dose means. And can you share just a little bit more about the umbrella overviewing thought?
Yes, so that's actually the perfect segue. So the dose and higher dose stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, which
Mhm.
are your feel good, happy chemicals and hormones. So that is our guiding principle for everything that we're trying to do. So
Yeah.
if you can start with that as a way to make yourself feel better,
Mhm.
focusing on the inside always cascades to the outside.
Yeah.
So different ways that we get those are through sweating and exercise, through physical touch, community connection, through relaxation and like calming
Yeah.
and yeah, so many different ways to kind of
Yeah.
release. And then also, yeah, there is mindfulness that happens in there. And I would love to be a person who says like, "Oh, I meditate 20 minutes a
Yeah.
day," and I've been trying for the last 10 years to integrate that practice into my daily life.
But it just is hard. We
It's
are
hard.
running, we are juggling so many things. And
Yes, so many things.
I know that the woman listening is trying to eat properly. You're trying to get to the gym, but you have sugar cravings. You don't have the time for yourself. You're hiding behind your kids in pictures for the
Mhm.
holidays because you just feel less than. And so I think what's really great about the conversation that we're about to really dive into is the simple things that you can add to your everyday habits that will, with ease of use and prioritize just a little moment of self
Mhm.
care so that you can flip the switch on cortisol and start to really feel better. And a lot of the tools and strategies that we're going to unpack help that well-being holistically through recovery, through detoxification processes, and through, bringing in these happy feel good neurotransmitters, which I love talking about.
Yeah, if we look at, how can I make myself feel better today? And we use that as our guide to kind of
Yeah.
integrate things. I know for me, I can get really uptight about my health and wellness. And I can say, I'm doing this huge overhaul and I'm going to
Yeah.
integrate all of these 10,000 things. And I know that's not sustainable.
Right.
So it's
Which
like,
I
okay,
think is huge. Like, I think
it's
it's huge.
huge.
It's huge because we all, have these lofty dreams in our heads where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm going to be the person that gets up at 5 a.m. and I'm going
Exactly.
to read my devotional for an hour and then I'm going to go meditate and then I'm going to go work out. And it's
Mhm.
like, okay, January 1 is coming, friends. And if you're
Mhm.
telling yourself, okay, on January 1, I'm going to do XYZ, like you're setting yourself up for failure. So let's
Mhm.
peel back the layers of micro habits and just like I'm so obsessed with habit stacking, like
Yeah.
getting super intentional about little things because especially at the holidays, like if we talk about this, like but that self-care, what we're going to talk about now doesn't need to take a back seat. Let's talk about all of the different micro habits that we can start.
Intention, yeah, I think that's great. I think, for me, like, one of the was, like, having brain fog and feeling
Yeah,
kind of sluggish and, like, not being able to, like, really kind of focus on the tasks that I needed to, like, I wasn't
yeah.
doing anything really well, and the biggest change for me was proper hydration and getting electrolytes.
I
I
love it because
also
that's also
love
a
seltzer.
feeling. Like it's a
Yes!
coffee
Yeah.
is like such a thing that we absolutely love. And yeah, hydration is vital in any wellness routine. And especially right now, we're running
Mhm.
from coffee to coffee
To coffee,
to a
yeah.
holiday to a holiday.
Well, so one thing that I like to do is make sure like I'll fill up a water bottle and my
Mhm.
goal is, if I'm super ambitious, I'll try to drink 2 of those, but at least if I can get 1 throughout the day,
Yeah.
I notice a big change and especially it's like cumulative too. So it helps actually kind of curve my cravings, but it also keeps me energized in a way
Yeah.
that sometimes coffee doesn't do. It
Yeah.
also calms my nervous system. So a lot of times when
Dehydrated. I think, like, if we pause there for a second, there is so much scientific research behind that. A lot of times
Mhm.
when we even are hangry, like if you've gone a number of
Hangry.
hours and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm like so cranky because I need food, I need food." You often don't need food, you need the minerals. So I think
Mhm.
one free thing that I share with everyone is take your water bottle, squeeze lemon into that or lime into that water bottle to make it more alkaline, and add your Celtic sea salt, like a pinch of Celtic
Mhm.
sea salt, so that you're giving yourself those minerals. So that's something that you can do with things that are in
That
your
are
cupboard.
already Yeah, and it also helps relieves dopamine too, so
Mhm.
even drinking water and feeling, like, properly nourished helps immediately give you a boost that you're going to feel right away, and that will also carry over.
Mhm.
So it does help to increase that energy and that kind of thing as well too, and, yeah, and also just back to things that I know that work for me is it has to be really easy, and it
Yes.
can't take a long time, and I have to be able to see these things in front of me, they have to be easily accessible and right there,
Yeah.
and, like, if I have the time to kind of take a pause and take a moment, my what I'll choose to do for myself is different, but when I have things that are just, like, easy to grab,
Easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
then I'm
Yeah.
right there.
And
Yeah.
we're running, especially right now at the holidays, our culture is drowning in caffeine and then booze, and we're on to
Mhm.
high energy activities, and our bodies are all thirstier than we think. So help us break down the grab and go situation. So if you're at home or you're prepared, you've got the time and you're squeezing your lemon into your water bottle and you're adding your Celtic sea salt and you're on your way. That is fabulous. And that is one thing that you can do. But let's talk about the hydration powder and the detox drops, because the detox drops are key and
Mhm.
easy, like a natural elixir that's packed with all of the magnesium, all of the, marine algae
No
minerals.
crystal, yeah,
Yeah, chlorophyll, all of the things that are drawing out the toxins in your body. So can you share a little bit more about how we can easily incorporate that and what it's doing for us? Because let's be honest, I'm not giving up my caffeine, not
right.
giving up my wine.
Me neither.
I'm not giving up my high energy activity. I want to do it all, and I know you listening want to do it all also. So let's unpack the strategies for helping our bodies detox.
Yeah, so I'll talk about my habit stack with both of those products
Yeah.
because those are my definitely some of my go-tos that I go to. I love our detox drops because it's a gentle
Mhm.
detoxifier, but there's also a lot of different elements and components in there that help to contribute to that and also help you feel better and
Yeah.
have more energy. So we have chlorophyll in there, which is kind of like the OG like detoxifier, and there's
So
milk
good.
thistle, which also helps get things moving in your body,
Mhm.
beetroot juice, which helps increase blood flow and also has powerful antioxidants, and then there's also the aquamarine minerals, and there's biotin too, so it's good
Mhm.
for hair, skin, and nails as well.
Mhm.
And, 200 years ago, we didn't really need a daily detoxification
Yeah.
process. But because we're so inundated with so many toxins in the world and
Yeah.
pollution and all of that, now it is important for us to take these small little steps to help our body's natural processes. So our
Yeah.
body wants to heal and it wants to detox.
Mhm.
But when you have this kind of overload that you're getting on a daily basis, being able to do that for your body is a great little kind of kickstart to your day.
Mhm.
So I have to admit I don't always do it before my coffee, but I
But
usually
is
do it
that what's
before.
ideal? Is that what is ideal? Like, let's break down the
So
benefits of doing it
ideally,
first
yeah,
versus
so the
doing it
benefits of
after.
doing it first. So the benefits of doing it before coffee is that that's the first thing you're putting in. So
Mhm.
you're getting that into your system right away with chlorophyll and the beetroot and milk thistle and all of these things that are just priming your body to do what it does best, which is
Mm.
like flush out all of its toxins. But yeah,
So
usually
you just
within
put
the
a
first
couple of drops. You put a couple of drops in water, correct? And
yeah,
does
yeah.
it
So
need to
2
be
cold dropperfuls.
does it need to be a full 8 ounces of water, or what is the ideal setup?
Well, so you can do it, and I think it depends, like, if you have a big water bottle that you like
Mhm.
to use, and you can start your day with that. So it doesn't necessarily become more effective if you're, like, packing it in there. But let's say it's just something you wanna kind of get through and you wanna get
Yeah.
done with, and you're like, "Okay, I don't have time to, carry all this stuff around. I'm just going to put it in 8 ounces and drink it quickly."
Yeah.
Like, you can totally do that.
Can you just put the drops in your mouth?
You can, but it might give you, like, a green tongue, but if you don't mind that, which
Then
I
it
don't
doesn't matter.
necessarily.
So for
Yeah.
those of us that wake up and we're like coffee on our minds, which let's just pause for a second and talk about how we need to wait 30 to 60 minutes before you have your coffee is
Mhm.
ideal. It's such a buzzkill, I know, and no one wants to wait 30 to 60 minutes, but for your cortisol hormone to rise successfully on its own to its peak to give you that energy throughout the day, the
Natural.
sustained natural energy, you do want to try your best to wait 30 to 60 minutes. So if you can have the
That's a
detox
great tip to
drops,
do. Yeah, it's a
the
great tip
detox
to do.
drops are something great that you can have in the morning while you're waiting to have that coffee. But if you are still working on improving the timeline for having that coffee and you just are still like waiting for the clock to turn 30 minutes and you're like, okay, I'm having my coffee, then you can do the detox drops in water after your coffee, correct?
Oh, for sure. And actually, a lot of times, sometimes the morning routine is more about having something hot. You could technically put this in warm water, and that could be
Mhm.
your first kind of wake up. I think a lot of times it is part of that ritual. I know even for me, like if I drink decaf coffee in the morning, I don't necessarily feel that much different. I still have that same kind of routine that I'm going
Mhm.
through where I'm like warming up my body and I'm feeling
Yeah.
something. It doesn't even have to have the caffeine. So it could just be the warmth. And so
Yeah.
you can add it to that. My mom actually adds her detox drops to tea. Um,
Oh,
no, that's I was like, "Oh, curious. I've never
I've
heard of
never
anyone doing that," but I thought it was a great
she's so
suggestion.
innovative.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I
yeah,
know for me, I do wait the 30 to I try to wait 60. I wait at least 30
that's
minutes before
great.
I have
Yeah.
my coffee and I do lemon water with
Mhm.
my Celtic sea salt and I do that. I have been
That's great.
trying to do the detox drops, but it's just a different taste and it's a different thing and we all have to give ourselves grace and we're here to share tips,
Oh,
tools and
yeah,
strategies for
absolutely.
getting to where you're going, but I do feel that the whole coffee movement, it's like the smell, it's the aroma, it's a
Mhm.
moment more than it is caffeine in your body.
Yeah, absolutely, and really there's no wrong way to use it, like, if you do have an exercise practice, it's great to include, like, a pre-workout too, or if
Yeah.
you have a water bottle you're taking to the gym or whatever, or a quick walk or anything like that, that
Yeah.
also works,
Will the
and
detox
same.
tops benefit your workout? Like is there a reason to do that before you work out?
Yeah, so we also like to say before a sauna session or exercising because it does kind of help prime your body to open up those detox pathways. So you'll get
Mhm.
more bang for your buck when you're sweating.
Ooh, we
So
want
it is
that.
a nice way, yeah, to do that. And then, of course, like remineralizing after your workout. That's
Yeah.
always a great way too. And that helps to mitigate any like aches and pains too after a really intense workout, as
Yep.
remineralizing will help kind of ease that inflammation and calm your body down.
And the way to do that on the go is with the hydration
Hydration
powder.
powder,
Like, you
yeah,
just
which
have
I
that.
absolutely love. I have to try really hard not to suck it down.
Yeah, it's
So
so
we
good.
yeah.
It tastes so good.
Yeah, and, we have this new water bottle that we were giving out a lot for as a gift with purchase, and we have a little
Yeah.
dopamine set, which includes the detox drops and the hydration
Mhm.
powder, and we have time markers for when to
Yep.
drink water, which normally is easy for me, but when I have the hydration powder
Yeah.
in there, I'm like, "Okay, don't drink this in one sitting." But
Is there a reason not to? Like, is if you wanna, like, slam it because it tastes so good, is there a scientific reason why you shouldn't do that?
Well, it actually the when you do drink slow and steady, your body absorbs the water
Oh.
and the
Yeah.
minerals. But,
Yeah.
of course, so many of us are kind of running throughout our day and it's hard to remember. Sometimes I realize I'm, like, completely parched. So when I
Yeah.
do put my hydration powder in my water bottle, I'm just like all it's
Yeah.
going. But
Yeah. So
either way, I feel great after. It gives me a huge energy boost.
oh,
Um
right, and it's because you're mineralizing your body, right? So
Mhm.
can you share just quickly, like, what is in, and I love that it's spelled high, High,
Yeah,
hydration powder, because everything is higher dose to get your dopamine,
yeah.
your oxytocin, all of your happy neurotransmitters.
Yeah,
So
so releasing all of those.
yeah, so that you can show up and feel your absolute best, because every little thing that we do matters. And this is just an easy grab and go thing for yourself. It's an easy, like, the hydration kit is an easy
Mhm.
gift to give at the holidays.
Yeah,
It's
that's a great gift.
beautiful.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
easy, and I do think it's, like, one kind of vital thing for, overall health and wellness that is
Mhm.
so often overlooked and so easily available to us. Like drinking
Yeah.
water is something that we should be doing, and I know it's hard to kind of remember. So we put together that kit as a way and an
Yeah.
opportunity to kind of prompt that through the
Mhm.
lens of, releasing happy chemicals. So, and
Mhm.
hopefully that will take transition into your energy, which helps you sleep. And so the
Yeah.
hydration powder has whole watermelon fruit. It also has, Aquamin marine minerals in there,
Mhm.
and then there's a sodium in there as well. So it has a complete electrolyte panel, so
Yeah.
you're getting everything that you need to kind of rehydrate, remineralize. We love our magnesium, of course,
Yeah.
and we really love the whole watermelon. We love the way it tastes, and we also like, the idea that it has, like, a strong mineral profile as well.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it. So while we are making our coffee and doing our detox drops, let's talk for 2 minutes about putting the infrared hat on
Yes, the multi hat.
while you are doing that, because I know for me personally, and I know that I can't be the only one, when I hit my late 40s, I started to notice that my hair was just less
Mhm,
voluminous. Like, I had less body, and I was trying all of the potions that I could apply topically, and frustrated. Like,
mhm.
I was being hit. I feel like Instagram was giving me every ad possible for make your hair thicker by buying this cream or that cream. None of it worked. I was super frustrated. I've learned about the red light hat from you. So thank
Mhm.
you for sharing that with me. And it stimulates blood flow to the scalp. And in 10 minutes a day, I've been now doing this for, gosh, it's been a little bit more than 6 months, I think.
Mhm.
And my hairdresser, I just got my hair cut, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you have all this new growth, like,
Oh, I'm
up
so
and
happy to hear that. That's
up
great.
in your hairline." And I can tell that my hair has more body. There's just more of
Mhm.
it. So, let's talk about this simple tool and strategy that literally I keep it in the kitchen. I get up in
Yes.
the morning, I make
Mhm.
my water, I make my coffee, and I wear this hat for 10 minutes, and it is like a non-negotiable, the easiest thing I can incorporate into my day.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. I totally agree. This one, was by far one of the most rewarding consumer groups that we did.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you're a man or a woman, we tend to lose about 50% of our hair by the time we're 65.
Mhm.
So we actually
50,
are.
that is a lot, that is a
Yes,
lot.
yeah, so 50%, and so even if you're not, going bald,
Yeah.
necessarily, men and women lose a lot of their hair, and it's a very emotionally charged thing.
Mhm.
And that happens for women specifically because of like postpartum, because of menopause,
Yeah.
stress, hormones, a lot of people after COVID. And when I set up to do I was showing people how to do the before and afters. I was
Yeah.
like, because I saw my before.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh my god." And I really identify with my hair. I have a hair story, and I think it's
Yeah.
more intense and more, stressful if you have a strong
You
hair
have
identity.
gorgeous hair. You have gorgeous
Thank you,
hair.
and it's thicker because of that.
Yeah.
And so, one thing I noticed for me specifically is that my part was a lot wider and, I hadn't really been giving it that much attention, but I did think about it in that moment, like, "Oh, when I was in high school, I used to have this, like, massive horse ponytail,
Yeah.
and now it is,
Sad.
drastically
It's
reduced."
sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I did the hair, consumer workshop with our consumer group,
Mhm.
and, it was amazing, and so it's also for me, so I keep mine at my work from home desk,
Yeah.
so I see it, there's gonna be, a couple times a day that I'm gonna see it, so at least one of those, I'll
Yep.
pick it up and put it on my head, and then I'm not even thinking about it.
It's
Um,
so easy.
so easy, and then it kinda beeps, and it's like, "Oh, wow, that was 10 minutes. I
Yeah.
just did 10 minutes of hair growth, and I didn't even
Yeah.
skip a beat. I'm still hitting my to-do list."
And while the investment in that is somewhat expensive, like it's not, it's worth noting that it's an investment.
Yeah,
But if you are wearing that for 10 minutes a day, it pays for itself over the course of a year. And
yeah,
so,
absolutely.
like, I know my husband has been doing that hat also. We kind of fight over it in the morning. It's like
Oh
if
my god,
it
my boyfriend loves it too. He every time he comes over, he's got the hat on, and
yeah.
then he moves to the
If we get up in the morning, if one of us, like, we kind of race downstairs to see who could put it on first, because
Mhm,
also it's winter, right? It's very cold where I am right now.
mhm.
It's like 35 degrees outside, and it warms you up. You put it on your head and it's just like wrapping a blanket around your body, because it's
Yeah.
like the red light warms up your core temperature,
Mhm.
and I just absolutely love it. He also is starting to get he has, like, not really bad receding, but a little bit of receding on the top of his head, and he's got all of this new growth right there. So
Oh
he
my
is
gosh, that's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
is
actually
over
the
the moon
perfect
excited.
timing to do that. So, good
Yeah.
timing for him because if he is starting to thin, but he still has those hair follicles there, then it is going to rejuvenate that scalp area and help him with new growth. So,
I
and then
love
it
it.
also helps you keep growth too. So, one of the things that was a great benefit is that you reduce your shedding. So
Yeah.
over time, you're also keeping what you have. And that was another big one of the great statistics from our consumer workshop was the reduced shedding. So,
I
uh,
am a shedder. I am a shedder.
yeah,
I am so excited to hear that, because I'm gonna have to make a conscious effort to
yeah,
notice.
just kinda take notice and see how that's happening, and a lot of times too in the beginning, you might see a little bit of increased shedding because you're making room for new fresh hair follicles,
Yeah.
but over time, that reduces a lot. So you hold on to what you have, and you also invigorate more to come about, and you really don't have to do much, but the hat has been a really great performer for us, and we've also gotten a lot of awards on it this year, and partly one of the call outs that everyone said was the ease of use.
Yeah.
It's not embarrassing. So
Right.
huge helmet. And that it was just really
It's
easy to
cute.
integrate. Yeah, it's cute
It's
and it's
cute.
easy to
And
integrate.
yeah, and there's so many people you see now using them. And also, if you try any other, like, there's a lot of, like, supplements out there. There's a lot of, like, topical solutions that you can
Mhm.
apply. But if you think about it from a price point perspective, like, you're not putting anything artificial into your body. You're not putting anything artificial
Mhm.
on your body. And I'm positive that over time, I haven't done the math, but over time,
Yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
less expensive investment for a natural therapy that is allowing
Mhm.
your body, which I am huge on, like, natural therapies. Like, God intended our bodies to work amazingly well,
Yeah.
and all of the environmental factors are destroying that for us. And if we can
Mhm.
just lean into these tools and strategies, run, do not walk, go get yourself a red light mask, or red light hat. I will drop everything in the show notes, you guys. You do not need to go do that right now. But let's shift the conversation to sleep. Like you kind of touched
Mm.
on it a minute ago, where your boyfriend's second favorite thing is the mask. Like,
Oh,
can
yeah,
we?
he loves the mask. So his favorite little habit stack, and he certainly doesn't use it for the skin rejuvenating benefits, even
Mhm.
though that's what my main motivator is. But it calms him down. It calms him down and it helps him relax, and a lot of times he falls asleep, and I
Yeah.
think it's because he's giving himself a moment of pause. He's
Mhm.
having this healing, rejuvenating red light enter through his eyes, and
Mhm.
it's flooding his body and calming his hormones down and calming
Mhm.
everything down, and so he
Mhm.
it just like it's like lights out the moment he puts it on. But yeah,
Same.
that is one of the great benefits of the mask, and it does also help to when you go out in the morning, if you're lucky enough to go outside first thing in the morning, that triggers your body to stop, and you see the sunlight, it
Mhm.
triggers your body to stop flooding your system with melatonin, but it starts building reserves for the evening.
Mhm.
And then in the evening, when you go outside and you see the sunset, that's your body's cue to start releasing that melatonin.
Yeah.
So when we spend so much time indoors, it kind of disrupts our circadian rhythm. And the red light mask is certainly a great opportunity, especially if you're using it in the evening or in the morning. And I mean,
Yeah.
I also use it during the day sometimes too. I just squeeze it in when I can.
Yeah.
But if I have, 10 or 20 minutes in the middle of my day to just kind of take a moment of pause and calm down, the
Yeah.
math is great. And if
I
I'm really
mean,
high anxiety, feeling really intense, I have to reground and recenter, the mask is like an amazing thing for me too.
oh my
So
gosh, that is so interesting that you share that. I'm fascinated by the mask. I can only put that thing on at night because I am like, goodbye.
this is
I
lights out, yeah.
I'm like it's my number one sleep tool and strategy that I will
Mhm.
share. But I have a question for you. When you wear it during the day, it doesn't matter that you have makeup on or anything on your face. You can just put it on and it still is equally as effective.
Well, you should remove all the makeup. So remove makeup, take off any sunscreens, of course, because you that will actually block the red light.
Yep.
And then if you want to use something, because sometimes people do like to use a serum, we have our light activated glow serum, which is
Ooh.
my personal favorite.
Okay,
And
tell me more. Tell me
so it's
more.
actually like hard to market because there's so many amazing actives in there. But it is it's like an amplifier for both red light, but it also amplifies your other skincare. So even if you're using it
Ooh.
outside of red light, it's great because it has phosphatidylcholine in it, which helps pull your other actives into your dermis, like deeper than when they might not otherwise be able to go through. And then it has copper peptides, which we know is kind of a great
Mhm.
anti-aging active, very hot on the market right now,
Yeah.
and algae extract. So all of those are light activated and help to amplify both your red light and your serum. So there's a lot of great things in there to kind of help plump up
Okay,
your
my
skin and
my
give you
mind is blown right now. I have
yeah.
so many questions coming around in my brain. So I think that is like one reason that I stick to doing the mask at night is for washing my face, taking everything off.
Yeah,
That's
you have
another
everything off. Yeah.
that's three more steps that this
Mhm.
girl's not doing. So if I'm
Mhm.
doing that and it's the warmth on your face and the lowering like the cortisol lowering effects that has
Mhm.
on your body.
100%.
My husband cracks up because, like, as soon as I whip that thing out, he's like, "Oh, I guess good night." Like, I guess I'll see you later because I instantly fall asleep, but I wanna level up my game, so I am not currently using the light
Oh my
activated
gosh,
glow serum.
you could try that one. Yes,
So,
absolutely.
how I am going to only put that on my face, or I'm going to add it to the other like,
So
over my face cream?
so wash your face, then do the light activated glow serum, then your mask, and then if you wanna follow up with skincare after that, you can put
Okay.
that on, but you don't have to wash again or anything like that. So
Okay.
the
Well,
glow
we already
serum
mentioned I'm gonna fall asleep, so
yeah,
I'm gonna
so
fall so
yeah, and you don't need to follow up with anything after that either
okay,
because both the red light and the serum is gonna help hydrate your skin.
amazing.
Yeah, and we did just get through so put our mask through clinical trials
Yeah.
recently, and we got the results back, and they were amazing. We already knew that it was great and that it really worked, but
Yeah.
it was amazing to see third-party data on that. So now
Yeah.
we can see that it's, clinically proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles,
Mhm.
help with moisture retention, improve skin barrier, and increase elastin. So those are all the things that help keep you kind of plump and juicy.
Yeah.
And it's just helping your skin to function more optimally. But in that clinical trial, we also had like user perception data, and
Mhm.
one of those was like, how did you feel immediately after? Because that's
Yeah.
a huge pillar for us. Is
Yeah.
do you feel good immediately, and do you feel calm and all of this kind of stuff? So a lot of people said yes, or actually, I think everyone said yes. That was one of the stats we had like 100% on.
Yeah. It
And
makes you feel so good. I it is the hands down, it's my favorite sleep habit.
yeah, yeah,
And the
for me too.
best investment, again, it's an investment, but you're going to wear this every night and it's going to pay for itself in a year and you'll wear it for years and years and
Yeah,
years.
absolutely, yeah, and you can really see the difference. I think I wish I would have taken before and after photos, because we
Yeah.
did get really compelling ones, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, man, I should have done that too."
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to see that, and, my dad also uses it, and
Yeah.
he's 70, and I mean, his skin is, like, glowing. He's, like, glowing,
Amazing.
and I also see him fall asleep when he uses it. So,
Yeah, it's a side
absolutely.
effect. It's a side effect. And like I love the beauty aspects of it. And of course we all want radiant glowing skin, but I also want really good
Good
deep
sleep.
REM sleep.
Mhm.
And I embarked upon this more for the sleep than for the beauty aspects, but I'm like winning.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is amazing. So while we're talking about sleep, what would the benefits of for the woman that struggles with sleeping, adding the magnesium spray to your evening routine? Can we talk about how that can help with sleep?
Yeah, absolutely. So magnesium is a great kind of calmer, so
Yeah.
pacifier was the word I was
Yeah.
gonna use, but that wasn't quite right. Um,
I love it. I love it.
so when you spray magnesium, and I like to do actually on my feet, I
Yeah.
spray it on the bottom of my feet, but I also do anywhere that I have like a sore muscle or a sore joint,
Okay.
because it seeps in and it helps to ease and relax that muscle. And
Yeah.
once we start easing and relaxing our muscles, that also has a cascading effect on the rest of our body. So it
Yeah.
helps us kind of calm down and relax. So yeah, I love the magnesium spray for that, especially as like, that's such an easy thing to keep on your bedside stand
Mhm.
too, if it's something like right before bed, or if you have kind of like a routine where, the kids are asleep, all the chores are done, everything's kind
Yeah.
of finished. That's a really great one. And also the serotonin soak is my
Oh,
other
yes, okay,
favorite.
yes, yes, I'm obsessed with the serotonin soak.
Yeah.
But for the magnesium spray, I have one more question. So if you put it on the bottom of your feet or you put it on sore muscles and it's something that you can use just when you need it, and is there a best practice to apply that to your feet an hour before bed or 30 minutes before bed, or does it
I would say like
matter?
30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes before bed, and 30 minutes to kind of give your body a little bit of time to absorb that. So you are
Yeah,
bypassing the gut and you're focusing it specifically on those areas. So it is really helpful. I also like the back of my neck and my shoulder
yeah,
area too, because I tend to carry a lot of tension there. And
yeah.
then once my shoulders drop, then the rest of my body
Oh,
drops.
that's
And my
so
lower
good.
back too, I also use it on my lower back. So those
Yeah.
are places for me that are typical pain
We
points.
all hold stress in our shoulders. Like
Yeah.
I would be, surprised to find someone that doesn't. So by
Mhm.
putting that magnesium spray on those muscles is just going to help you
Mhm.
relax and fall asleep, and then you put your mask on and it's see you
Oh, yeah,
tomorrow.
then it's lights out. Yeah,
Let
and I think too it also has that cumulative effect where, you're remineralizing your body, you're getting those you're getting magnesium into your body,
Mhm.
which 60% of Americans are deficient in. It's
Yes.
responsible for so many metabolic processes in our body, including like serotonin production and your parasympathetic nervous system. So all of these things are going to contribute to longer term benefits, such as better energy in the morning.
Yeah, all of
Better
those things.
sleep.
So can you unpack for like a hot second the difference between like popping a magnesium pill or using the spray?
Totally. So we have a couple different positions for the magnesium spray because it's also like a sweat amplifier if you
Yeah.
use it before you work out. I've used it before a hot yoga class and it was almost like embarrassing
Really? Wait, wait,
sweating.
wait. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Oh my God. Well, I'm already kind of a sweater. And I know that it helps to kind of increase that microcirculation. So if you
Okay.
are warming up the body, you're basically opening up your pores. So you're getting more of that magnesium into your body, but you're also sweating a lot out.
Yeah.
So it increases your microcirculation. It helps to kind of like get those juices flowing. And it
Mhm.
was, yeah, like an embarrassing amount of sweat.
I'm gonna have to try that. Like
Yeah, you have to try it. You have to try it. It's
I
a
am
really
not a
great
huge
one.
sweater. I'm just cold all the time. So
Oh, interesting. You should definitely try that then. I
I
would be
am
very curious about your experience. And then also if you use it after a workout,
yep.
it does help you to remineralize and also to calm and ease any sore muscles that you have.
So what would you do after a workout? Like, is it something then that needs to be in your gym bag that you're carrying around? Or would you do it like, is there a time, like after a workout, like immediately after a workout?
I would say yes, immediately after a workout, because that's
Yeah.
when your pores and everything are still open. But if you are using it at night, and I'm saying this because we did a really big consumer
Yeah.
survey on how and when people use this, and we actually had two different camps of people. And half the people used it as a workout amplifier, and the other half used it in the evening to calm their body and
Yeah.
get into their sleep mode. So it was really interesting to see that there was a really
Those are
interesting
two
split.
totally different things.
Totally different things. And for me, I tend to use it as the sweat amplifier and also
Yeah.
to ease my sore muscles. But again, that helps me later on in the evening too. So
Yeah.
if I'm spraying it during the day, I have so many other things going on that I'm not necessarily going to feel really tired, but I will feel calm,
Yeah.
which is a nice feeling. And then in the evening, if I spray it, and that is usually if I have a really specific ache or pain,
Yeah.
or if I am having trouble sleeping that night, that kind of helps put like rest and digest state. But if you're taking like a magnesium supplement,
Hmm.
um, so many different great ways to take magnesium for a million different reasons. I usually take it for gut health and digestion, which is
Yeah.
like another thing I'm always trying to work on. But yeah, I do also take a magnesium supplement as well that I take. So I'm a fan of magnesium and getting it in
Yeah.
all different forms.
Yeah, well, most of us are deficient, right?
Mhm.
So it is a natural mineral that we need more of, and I love just to unpacking the tools and strategies. Like you can amplify your sweat and or
And
calm
or use it.
calm yourself. And yes, I have definitely taken magnesium supplements at night to sleep, and
Mm,
I'm not 100% positive if it helped or didn't help or what it did, but it was one of those things where it's like this could be healthy, so you kinda
mhm.
stick with it. So I thought, I don't know, it's interesting just to kinda chat more about that. But
Yeah.
as we talk through our wind down routines, you kinda touched on it a minute ago with the serotonin soak. I am obsessed with the full cortisol reset
Oh my god, yeah, that it's such a great
that
way.
yes, that you can get from a bath. And for years and years and years, I always just did Epsom salt. Maybe I added some, some oils, natural oils or whatnot, and thought that I was doing something good for myself. And of course, a bath is great. But
Mhm.
I never really got out of the tub thinking to myself, like, oh, that was amazing. It was
Right.
more like, okay, I checked the box. I know that this is supposed to be good for me. I did it. I read my magazine. I'm going to move on to the next thing. But I started using the serotonin soak, and the very first time I got out of the tub, I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is
Yeah.
that?"
Oh my god, yeah, it's one of my favorites, and it's also a really great way to get a lot of the benefits of these other kind of high tech, high price modalities that we have
Yeah.
for a very, very easy entry
It's
price point.
so inexpensive for
So
what you are
inexpensive.
getting.
Yeah, and so, when you're so our serotonin soak has zeaxanthin magnesium flakes,
Mhm.
so it's already great if you are sulfur sensitive, you don't wanna necessarily do Epsom salts because that can either irritate your skin or kind of upset your body's natural rhythm of things too.
Yeah.
And the magnesium, so not only are you helping to literally melt your muscles and it is like a full cortisol reset for sure.
Yeah.
You're calming your entire body. It's also great for detoxification, so it's going to help draw out some of those impurities. And of course, like everybody loves the scent of it. Everyone says
Yeah.
like as soon as people smell it, they're like transported. I
Mhm.
think that's another really great thing that kind of helps contribute to that. And then also the French green clay and the apple cider vinegar, which kind of
Yeah.
soften and relax your skin and your muscles as well. But I sleep like a baby every time
Oh,
I take
like a
a bath.
baby.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a baby
Yes. And
for sure.
the first time that I opened it, I was like, "Oh, it's green and it looks kinda weird, and I'm not really sure
Mhm.
about this." But I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay, here we go.
here we go.
I'm putting it in the tub. I'm trying this." And I just cannot believe how amazing you feel in the tub, out of the tub. Like usually when years ago when I was doing the Epsom salts and oils, like I would almost like set a timer, like
Mhm.
force myself to stay in there for 15 to 20
Mhm.
minutes because like somebody told me I should stay in here for 15 to 20 minutes. And so that's what I'm going to do. Where with the serotonin soak, it's like you literally can feel
Mhm.
your cortisol dropping and you are so calm.
Mhm.
It's amazing. 10 out of 10 if you're looking for something to start with, to help
Yeah,
yourself with,
that for me would be the number 1
run,
starting
run.
point.
And
Yeah.
then if we wanna elevate that to make it better, can we just touch on the benefits of dry brushing? And would you use the oxytocin oil and the dry brush? Like, can we
Oh,
unpack those
yeah, so
things?
actually, that's such a great bath stack. I think a lot of times the dry brushing can be intimidating to people because they think there is this kind of long drawn out ritual that they have to
Yeah,
do.
me, I'm people, I'm people.
Yeah,
It's me,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
me.
so
I'm the one that's like, "Do I have time for that?
yeah,
Where
I
am I
love
doing
dry
that? Like,
brushing.
where am I doing that? What's gonna fall off of me? Who's cleaning up after me?"
Yeah,
Like,
what's happening?
tell me
Yeah.
how to do this.
So, the reason why I love dry brushing is that it's both, like, invigorating and it's calming. So,
Mhm,
it helps to wake up your body and your lymphatic system, and then the copper bristles in there also calm your electromagnetic field. So, there's copper bristles in there which generate negative ions, which is nature's natural charge.
mhm.
Um,
I mean,
and
grounding is the biggest thing right now.
yeah,
It's getting
huge.
a huge moment. So, the copper bristles in that are helping you naturally kind of ground
Naturally, yeah.
yourself.
So if you think too about like all of our technology is positive ions.
Mhm.
So and our bodies want that negative ion charge that we get from grounding, from putting our
Mhm.
feet on the earth. And copper bristles also generate that with the friction of your skin. So it has this really interesting feeling where you're both invigorated and calmed. And there's something really addicting about it. Like it is a really energizing thing. But it's not like anxiety inducing. And of course, like you exfoliate your skin, you get your lymphatic system going. So if you
Yeah.
do that before a bath, it is really priming you to amplify that experience of drawing out some of those toxins and pushing out some of that stuff while you're also calming your body down
I love
and
that. And
easing the
so
pain.
how do we brush toward our heart, away from
Yeah,
our
so
heart?
if I'm doing the quick and dirty,
Yeah.
I
That's all we have
usually
time for. That's
yeah,
all
we
we have time
only have
for.
time for quick and dirty. I always start at my feet, so I
Okay.
brush up, so brush up towards my heart. I'll do both legs first, and then I go both arms, and
Okay.
then I'll kind of do like a quick here, so out to each armpit.
Yep.
And then if I have time to do my stomach, which I always do but don't always do, from the belly button down, I'll
Yeah.
brush down, and from the belly button up, I brush up.
Yeah, I feel like we all like every woman on the planet hates their stomach. So like
Yeah, so
helping to just like, increase collagen, help the skin's
Yeah, exactly. Get
elasticity,
that.
all of that stuff. So we want to take the time to do that. So it's,
Mhm.
tell me again, it's above the belly button toward the heart.
So above the belly button, you kinda go, like, up towards the heart
Okay.
and towards your armpits, and then below the belly button, it's, like, kind of like your groin, like, you have lymph nodes, like, right kinda near your ovary area,
Yeah.
so
So
you're
you're
brushing
going
down.
down.
Yeah, you're brushing down.
Oh my gosh, I'm committed. This
Yes.
conversation,
Yeah.
I have the dry brush. It's sitting.
Oh my gosh, yeah, try it, and you don't have to do 3 or 5 minutes, like, you can do it pretty quickly.
And I can do it before a
Um
shower also, correct? Like,
Absolutely, yeah, so I do it a lot before a shower, just because I see it, it's, like, right on my shower, it's, like, when I'm going to turn the water on,
yeah.
and so now it has become, like, a habit, but it's pretty rare that I'll do the full shebang.
Yeah.
But for me, like, my trouble area is, like, my butt and my thighs, like, I
Yeah.
could do squats for the rest of my life, it doesn't matter what my weight is, I always
Yeah.
struggle with that area, so that I tend to give a little more
So
attention
how
to.
do you do that? You're just going up? You're
Same,
going
yeah, you're
up the
just going.
back side of your leg?
Yeah, so, kind of do these, like, like, long strokes up
Yep.
from the bottom to, your top and your butt too, so you're doing your butt up to, like,
Yep.
towards your heart, basically.
And the dry brush needs to stay dry, i.e.,
Absolutely, so
in the
you
word
don't wanna
dry.
be sweaty, you wanna be completely dry, and you want
Mhm.
your dry brush to be dry too.
Yeah, so for in the shower, if we're gonna get in the shower, I guess you could hang it kind of high on your in your shower where it's not getting wet and just leave it in there.
I would be careful. I would keep it outside of the shower. So
Yeah.
I have a shelf that's, like, next to my shower, but not actually
Ooh,
in it,
in the
so
shower
I
so that it
see
stays
it.
dry.
Yeah, so that it stays dry and I see it there, and then I don't have to worry about it being too intense of an exfoliation.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's why I'm not using it. And again, we're talking about simple tools and strategies to create new habits. And I have not embraced this habit because it's out of sight, out of mind. It's in a drawer
Mhm.
in a land far, far away.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
it's
not
gotta be in your face, so
it's
you
not
try
in my
it.
bathroom. I need step
Yeah.
1, everyone. Step 1, move it close by. So if I wanted to level up my dry brushing experience, how would I add the oxytocin oil?
So after you shower, you take a bath, so you do want to get all of the dead skin cells off of your
Mhm.
body, and then plus when you do shower, that'll kinda help prime and open up your pores, so now you've
Mhm.
exfoliated, you've woken up your lymphatic system, you've cleaned off all the dead skin cells that might be remaining, and you've got your pores are open, you've primed your skin to
Mhm.
accept that oil. So I love the oxytocin oil because it's super fast absorbing, so you don't
Yeah.
have to sit around and wait for it to absorb in your body. So it goes in really quickly and it has algae extracts in there, which also help kind of tone and tighten your skin and nourish, and it's super soft. And it also has an essential oil blend in there too. So you don't have to worry about any weird fragrances or endocrine
Mhm.
disruptors or anything like that, which is a great bonus
I
too.
love that. So that is just the lotion, so to say, that you're putting on your body. Step 1, when you
Mhm.
get out of the shower or you get out of the bath, and that's just hydrating your
Yep,
skin.
just hydrating, which, it always the best time to hydrate, or I should say the most effective time is after you've done a really good exfoliation.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. I need to incorporate that into my everyday routine because that's simple. It's a simple strategy that you can.
Yeah, well, I really picked up more regularly doing it because I saw Katie, one of our founders, and her
Yeah.
legs were, like, so shiny and glowy, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm just dry brushing." I was like, "What?" It looked like it was actually so noticeable that I mentioned it because her I could really see it, it was in the summer, and so, her legs, I could see her legs, but I was so impressed by it, and
We
so
all want that glowing skin, and we're all at
Mhm,
the age where it's like cellulite and all of these
mhm.
unfortunate things. So it's ladies, listen up. It's easy. It's dry brushing, it's adding the oil. These are very inexpensive strategies for you to embrace health over the holidays and to gift to your sister, to your daughter, to your
Mhm.
mother, to your friend. It's just tools and strategies. I love every last moment of this. So, okay, let's close this conversations with some gift pairing. So, for the woman with no time, which is kind of all of us, and I think we've unpacked that. But what would be your baby step to suggest for starting with higher dose and with just biohacking and all of the things that we've been talking about to help her show up for herself?
So no time, I definitely think, the detox drops or the hydration powder, because those
Yeah.
are really good things that you're kind of already doing anyway. So
Yeah.
or if you're not drinking water is kind of like a great habit to start with, or the red light hat. So if it's somebody who has a hair story or is curious about that or interested in that, that's another thing that really takes no time to kind
Yeah.
of integrate into your life for sure.
I love that you say hair story because I feel like that's a new phrase for me. And I'm like, it doesn't, don't we all have a hair story? Aren't we all kind of like we want our hair to be thick and beautiful and easy? And
And
yes.
easy, and we associate that too with, like, youth and vitality and, like,
Hmm.
health, and I think that, like I was saying before, the stronger your identity is around your hair, the more anxiety inducing that can be for you if
Yeah.
you're struggling with it.
Yeah.
So it's
Which is a never ending battle because your
never
anxiety
ending.
over it and your elevated cortisol over it is
Exactly, and then it's just getting worse
it's
and, like
making it worse by the moment, and then if you're
mhm.
pondering on it and, ruminating over the fact that your hair is falling out, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So, red light hat
Yeah,
is the
red light hat.
answer. I
Such
l
an easy, great one.
I
In
love
addition
it.
to yeah, in addition to well, also dry brushing too, but if we're talking no time,
Yeah.
it's like red light hat and
Yeah.
hydration powder
Well,
detox.
those are things that, like,
Yeah.
take 0 time. The detox drops, 2 drops in it. You know that you've had
Mhm,
coffee, you know that you're having alcohol at the holiday party, you had cookies, you had whatever,
mhm.
that we have no time for beating ourselves up over how yesterday didn't go the way that you anticipated.
Exactly. Yeah.
Today is a new day. You are going to believe in you, put the 2 drops of the detox dropper in your water and move on.
Mhm. Exactly. And
I
then it's
love
like
that.
you've already taken care of something for yourself. You've kickstarted your detox. You're gonna get more hydrated.
Yeah.
So it's a great, great
I
way to
love that. Okay, so for the woman who is counting her pennies, who is like, "This all sounds amazing," what is and I think we just answered this, it's the detox drops. Like,
yeah.
what is the first thing to go run and get?
Well, I would say so detox drops, of course, and hydration powder, but also the serotonin soak because you get
Oh,
so many of
yeah.
the amazing benefits that you
Yeah.
get from like the infrared sauna or the PEMF mat, which of course, if you can integrate those as well, are like the creme de la creme.
Right.
But if you do get the serotonin soak, you're going to help your detox, you're relaxing your muscles, you're lowering your cortisol, you're going to get better sleep and
Mhm.
you're detoxing, which is all the things that we were trying to get with these other things too. So it's a great entry point, I think.
100%. You can create a new Saturday night habit or Sunday night
Mhm.
habit, and if you're doing that bath once a week or twice a week, that bag is going to last you a long time. So
Yeah,
it
for
is
sure.
it's a great price point for the benefits that you're
Great
getting.
praise point.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the woman who can't sleep, in what order do we unpack therapies that can help?
The PEMF mat for sure. If you have the budget for the PEMF mat,
Yeah.
100% I would take that. Also the serotonin soak and the transdermal magnesium spray. So if you can do the PEMF mat, there's actually a sleep mode on there. So level number
Ooh,
1 is specifically for sleep. So if you are having trouble sleeping at night, it's
yeah,
because your brain waves are going too high and they're functioning at a higher level than what is
yeah.
required for you to sleep. And if you put your PEMF mat on level 1, that's actually going to help your brain align to that wavelength that you need to sleep. So it's a great one.
Oh my gosh, I love that, and I think that's the answer to my next question because we're gonna have to unpack PEMF. So hang tight with me for a minute. But for the woman who has brain fog, what is your answer for that?
I would say detox drops, hydration powder, and the sauna blanket
Oh,
because
look at you.
yeah. So for me, I always feel really invigorated and really energized after a sauna blanket. And it's
Yeah,
also helping to get your sweat going, detoxifying. So you get a lot of the same metabolic processes that you do in a workout, which is ultimately really energizing, but you're just laying there. So
right?
it's like
If you want a passive way
if you
to
want a passive way, and also if you want a passive way to get that, let's say you're injured too, or if you
Yeah.
have chronic pain, but you still want to get the benefits of a cardio workout, it's a really great way to do that.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I will link all of those things in the show notes and share that with everyone. But let's unpack PEMP for a hot minute because I'm positive that there were people that were like, wait, hard turn to the right. What is PEMP? What are you talking about? Let's talk about this mat and the benefits of that for sleep, for all of the things.
Yeah, so let me give you kind of an overview. Our PEMF, we have two different PEMF mats. We have our Go mat and we have our Pro mat. And the Go mat is a perfect size for like a work from home chair.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're new to PEMF and you're kind of like, oh, like what is this? How do I want to invest in it, but I don't know if I'm quite ready for this big one, or if you don't have the space.
Yeah.
So the PEMF is a great one that fits into the chair. They combine, and then our full mat is like the size of a yoga mat. So you can lay down completely on it. You can do stretching, you can do your post-workout recovery, all that kind of stuff is great for that mat. And it combines both infrared and PEMF therapy, which is pulsed electromagnetic field therapy.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you, like, let's unpack what the PEMP stands for.
Yeah, and so PEMF actually started in the equestrian industry,
Mm-hmm.
and it was used to heal bones of horses.
Yeah.
So after they would, getting injured in races and that kind of thing, PEMF therapy was a way to kind of accelerate bone healing. But it's changed and shifted for a lot of different ways that people use it now. So our PEMF isn't so high intensity that you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
We went for modes that kind of work for everyone. So they're all brain waves. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
delta, theta, beta, alpha, and they're all designed to trigger rest and digest states.
Yeah.
So we have number one, which is the sleeping one. We have two, which is also the Schumann resonance. So it's the same wavelength as the earth. So when you
Mm-hmm.
go out into
It,
the ocean or you have your feet on the ground
it's
and you feel
grounding.
calm, yeah, part of that is because you're tuning into the earth's frequency. So
Yeah.
we have that as our level two. And then we have level three, which is our theta brainwave, which is kind of like a bridge state between almost falling asleep and almost being fully awake. But it's when you don't have to do really intense problem solving. It's kind of like a creative state, but it's certainly grounding and relaxing. And then level four is more for focus. So if you first wake up in the morning and you have some problem solving and you have emails to answer and you have to do that, the level four is a really great one without putting you into this really high intense
Yeah.
state.
Oh my gosh. So for the woman that wants it all in a passive way, right? If you are truly with no time, but want to invest in yourself and your health and in your biohacking, it's the PEMF mat, hands down, to sit on 6 a.m. when you have to get up and answer emails, or the sauna blanket where you can probably lay in that and
Mhm.
type emails or do if you have to, multitask, you can probably multitask and do that as
Yeah.
well.
The other thing too is like if you do have, let's say you have an hour where you know you're going to be watching TV, you can
Yeah.
also just lay in it.
Yeah. And multitask.
Like, well, I know I'm going to be doing this anyway, so might as well stack this.
Yeah.
So, and that goes
Yeah.
to the PEMF or the sauna blanket. So, if I do have time to do the sauna blanket, that's what I'll do is put on a podcast or watch a show, something I've been meaning to do, and kind of take that in while I'm relaxing and sweating. But I usually fall asleep before the end of
Uh,
both of those things.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Jessica, this has been so informative. Thank you so much for sharing the tips, tools, and strategies and helping us all understand how we can simplify our health and giving health for the holidays.
Thank you so much for having me. This is one of my favorite topics, so always
Oh
happy
my
to
gosh.
join and dive in.
I'm obsessed with all the things. But yes, I'm sure I will chat with you soon. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.